In this video, I'm going to provide a step-by-step walkthrough of my Go High Level marketing agency, all the way from running ads to get leads and appointments for your agency, to automating follow-up with those leads and appointments, and then sending them over to a funnel to learn more about your product and your offer. And then specifically how I generate ads, because part of the model, which I'll explain, is generating leads and appointments for a specific type of business. So I show you guys how to generate these types of ad images using AI. And then I'll walk you through the funnel and the automation system that basically produces a result for my ideal type of client, which is a real estate investor, real estate wholesaler. And this allows them to make $10, $20, $50,000 off of just one of the leads that I generate for them. So if any of this sounds interesting throughout the video, there's actually a link down below for a free course. And if you want to learn more specifically how to do this and get coaching from me on how to do this and join other people that are doing this, there's a link to a trial down below for the software that I use to basically run this entire model. And it's a completely free trial. It's called Go High Level. And if you sign up for a trial, you can get access to clone this entire business model completely for free just by using my trial link. Okay, so let me walk you through how this works and the logic behind this system and really who it's for. Okay, so the reason that I designed my business this way is because, one, I like to optimize for what is simple. Okay, because business is already challenging enough to figure out what people want to buy, figure out what price they're willing to pay, figure out how to get them results, deal with customer support. There's all these variables that go into kind of like a traditional business. And so one element of my logic and why I've designed my business this way is because I already know that things are going to be challenging enough on their own. And so I want to remove as much friction as possible from anything else I have to do in my business. And so what you'll see here throughout this entire, layout of the business is that everything is very simple and everything connects to each other, and it's congruent. Okay. So for example, in order to get customers, right, you can do outreach, which there's nothing wrong with outreach. I'm just sharing, what I'm doing to get interest in my business and my offer, right? So you can do outreach, or to even simplify it even more, you can do outbound where you reach out to people, or you can do some sort of inbound, okay? Now, within the last few years, the majority of all of my clients have come from YouTube videos like this. Now, don't worry if you're an agency or digital marketer or interested in doing this. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about actual clients, like actual people that pay for this type of product that I'm going to show you. And so if you look on my channel, I have a bunch of case studies, which is why I now help people that are marketers clone my system, because I have a proven track record and proven system for getting my clients results. So a lot of people saw that and were like, hey, I want to have a proven niche, proven offer, proven system instead of doing all of this from scratch. Okay. So prior to what I'm showing you here, I've generated almost all of my customers for this specific service I'm going to show you from my case study videos on YouTube. And prior to that, before I started doing YouTube, it was all through referral and word of mouth. Okay. Now, as I started to coach people on how to do this and show them this business and show them, the potential, I realized that that wasn't really duplicatable. And I really like things that are systemized. And so here you can actually see this ad, okay? Now, these are paid Facebook ads, okay? And you can see this just went live only a few days ago. It's generated 20 leads with a cost per lead of $4 and $81 spent, all right? Now, the way that this ad system works, which is why I love it, is you set it up once and it pretty much is just going to keep running. You do have to like refresh it, but a lot of people talk about refreshing it by like changing all this stuff. You can simply just duplicate it and it's going to work again fine. Okay, there's more advanced stuff, but really that's part of the value here is you got a really good offer in the ad. You talk about your offer, talk about your pricing, and then it's very direct, very straight to the point. All right. So here you can see these ads, and now these are people that are raising their hand, filling out their form. I actually talked to someone this morning for about 30 minutes. Really good call straight from this type of ad. Okay. So what this allows you to do is skip the line with outreach and getting people to be interested in what you're doing by going to them. And the reason I designed this strategy this way is because you only need $5 a day to get started. You could probably even do it with like $3. It's just going to be slow, right? So think about it as you could do as little budget as you'd like. It's just going to take more time. So I have this at $20 a day. So based on this, I get 5 leads a day, okay, based on $4 a day. And then we have these ads, right? So they fill out their information. And then I have a simple automation here inside of High Level. And this is basically when someone submits the lead form, there's a notification. So I get a text to my actual phone. And then I get a text, like I just got a lead, a few minutes ago with their name, their email, their phone number. And then I have a specific question, which I'll talk about in a second, based on the type of product that I offer. And I get that in my text messages, so I see it. Now that you can see here says internal, so this means I get that. Then I have a SMS, so this is a text message, and then this goes to the actual lead. So they filled out my form, they saw my ad, and now I send them a text immediately, all right? And that basically, this is something I was just telling my community like an hour ago. I have a call that I do, and what I was telling them was that I put an image of my ad in the text, right? Because one of the things people have challenges with when they run ads is like people don't remember or whatever. But I found the better you make your ads and your offer, more your offer, the response rate just skyrockets. Okay, so you don't have to go crazy with all these different things that you may think. Just have a clear offer. So in the text, I have an image of the ad. So guess what? They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're scrolling, they see a good offer, they click on it, they want more information, they fill out that information, then immediately they get a text. That text is introducing myself, sending a photo of the offer, and then we wait about 30 seconds, and then we send them over a link to this funnel, which I'll show you guys in just a second. And so now we've taken this person who has no idea who we are to getting them off of Facebook with their private contact information. And now we're texting them. And then we're sending them that second text too about 30 seconds after. So if they, for whatever reason, put their phone down right away or whatever, they get 2 alerts. And that creates a high open rate and a high click-through rate, which I'll talk about in a second. All right, so that's the ad to the automation. Now, what you want to do over time is add in more automation, like with text and email follow-up. But this is just the initial sequence, okay? So that's the first sequence. Then we have this funnel, okay? So this is also built on Go High Level right here. And what's cool about this, and you'll see this frame throughout, right, is we have a super clear ad, super clear offer on the funnel. And then on top of this, I have a video here that I made with 11 Labs. And 11 Labs is a voice AI software. So I just wrote out the script, which the script is really just a description of the offer, which is so simple. There's no advanced, trying to psychologically trick them and do anything advanced. We just show them the ad. They click on the offer, fill it out. We reiterate the offer on the text. That offer takes them to get more details on the offer. Then it's the same exact page. Everything looks real clean. Everything looks smooth, easy to understand. And then the video gives them more idea about what they're buying and how it works and some of the questions they may have, and they can just click on that and play it. All right. And then I have some other parts of the actual page, but really this is what it comes down to. So then you just create like a simple pricing table. So what I do is I sell leads. And so here you can see we just have a straight pricing, like 20 leads, $500, 40 leads, $1,000, 60 leads, $1,500, right? And then they just click on that. That takes them to my Stripe. Then they pay. And then once they pay, the system starts, okay? So we got the ad, we got the text, and then we drive traffic to this funnel, okay? That way, and this is a huge, like, if I only understood this when I got started, I don't know how much further ahead I would be. But do not underestimate the power of simple, dumb marketing, okay? Some of you guys that watch this, you guys are Go High Level masters. You know all this automation. You know Zapier. You know N8N. Some of you, maybe this is going way over your head, which is perfect. But some of you are a little more advanced. And so a lot of the time, people just get in their own way, and they don't realize what this simple, dumb style marketing could do. Because you may be thinking, oh, well, this doesn't really look that advanced, right? There's no this and that and all over the funnel and fancy graphics. But this works. This has worked for me for 8 years. Not this particular funnel I'm saying, but this strategy, this approach has worked for me for 8 years. I've been in business. I've never worked a job because I just have this simple, dumbed down approach of like what they're actually buying. And I've never faked, testimonials. I've never done anything like that that makes it just not seem real. So I just keep it clean, and then I let people buy that simplicity and that clarity. All right. And that actually attracts a different customer as well. Okay. So when I say don't underestimate though, what am I referring to? So people think, oh, well, this just looks so simple. No one even, is going to go here. No one's even going to do that. Well, guess what? On this text message, we're getting about 1 out of 4 people are actually clicking on this text that sends them over here. So guess what? Just by adding this basic marketing, a text and an email, or two text, we're getting people that while I'm out, I'm at the gym, I'm eating, I'm making this video, they can learn more about the program and get more details, see the price, see almost everything they need to make a decision without me physically doing it, right? And these are simple tweaks that people don't do or don't have. Like people have agency services and they don't have a place where people can buy without a call, right? So how do you expect people to buy without a call? So that was one of the things I wanted, people buying without a call. So here you can see this is how this part of the process works. So don't underestimate this simple stuff, simple, clear pricing, clean, make it easy to understand, and then just guide them straight along to the next step. All right. So that's the funnel. So what I do for these investors is I essentially do what I did for them to, enter into my world. They fill out the ad, they do the automation, and then they're basically becoming a customer, right? So I help them with that exact process in this pretty much the same exact way. It's a little different, but it's the same process. So recently, I'd have to do a whole training on this alone, but it's pretty insane. So I generate ads for them, right? I generate leads for them with the ads, okay? So the way I do it is I run the same type of ad that I just showed you, but it's for their type of customer. And one of the ways I'm doing this now, which is it's actually mind blowing, is called Nano Banana. It's by Google AI Studio. So I can't do a whole training on how this works right now. It'll be too long. But basically what we can do here is we can do two things. We can generate ad images, okay? And we can also generate videos with character continuity, I guess is what I will call it. So for example, let's just pretend that I wanted to use, I'll break down what this is, but let's just pretend I wanted to use this person in an ad, right? So if I use a software, which I'll talk about this in a second, but if I use a software like this, I can only generate them in one outfit, in one setting, and basically I'm limited, right? Whereas with Nano Banana, you can actually take a screenshot, put it into their text or their image to video system, and then guess what? It'll literally, you can have multiple scenes. So I could have this person do a 60-second ad in, 10 different places, 6 seconds each, and make it really, really engaging. And I can do all that with AI. It's all AI. So that you can do Nano Banana for the image generation and the video, which is crazy, and it's only going to get better. Okay. Now this software is called trycaptions.com. That is my affiliate link to this software. It's called Captions. And it basically allows you to generate I think it goes to I don't know, 20 to 30 seconds, 20 to 30 second content. They give you these configured, these are AI avatars. So these are like real people that I guess sold their image to this company. And then actually, I think this one's fake. To be honest, I don't even know anymore. I don't know. I think these are AI, but they have like real people that they turn into AI with changing what they're saying, through their lips. And then they have these, I think, which are actually just pure AI. I honestly don't even know. And this is what I do, but it looks like her eyebrows and her hair is a little this looks a little AI. Maybe some of these are real, but either way, this allows you to generate ads using this AI type of avatar person. And you can either type in your own script or you can have them write one for you. Now, I also have all of these pre-configured templates that I've used and tested in multiple markets all across the country for the same, what I'm doing is I'm finding these properties for investors. So you can do it through Nano Banana, you can do it through Captions, and you can also just do it through your own kind of homemade images. So that's what I do. That's what I deliver for them. Now, also inside of my Go High Level, I have these templates installed. Okay, so if I make a new ad over here, I can just install them, and then they go into my account right here. I click select, I put in the budget, and then I just launch the ad, and it starts getting leads. So I don't have to go through the ads manager and stuff like that. So that's how I actually create the ads currently. And then we take the leads to this funnel, okay? So this funnel will ask the lead why they're selling, their time frame for selling. It'll ask them if it's already listed, all the questions relevant to the investor, and then the address, name, email, phone. Now, there are some nuances to how many questions to put depending on where you're marketing, whatever, but this is basically the funnel, okay? And then they submit their information. And then same logic here, where I have a fully built out automated follow-up for the investor. So it's text and email to follow up with the leads. And then, so this is all of this is in High Level, except obviously what I said, Captions, whatever. This is all inside of High Level. So the cool part about this too is you build it once and it's just copy paste. You don't, not even copy paste, it just installs again every time you get a client. So they have their own, automations or whatever. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the pay per lead model and stuff like that, but this is what you do. You get the lead, and then the lead goes through this thing, text and email follow-up. And then I have this other, it's a motivated seller, which is the type of leads I get, and it qualifies those leads inside of high level. So we get the lead from, one of these style of ads. We send them to the funnel. When they go through the funnel, they go through text and email. And if they respond to the text or the email, or excuse me, just the text, then they go through this AI booking bot, which will book them in as an actual appointment. All right. And then what this results in is our client, it depends if it's an investor or a wholesaler. I'll talk about this in just a second, but basically the investor gets to find a house like this at a discount, and then they remodel and flip it and make it look like this, and then they make their money off of it. So that's a walkthrough of everything I do. Like I said, there's a link down below to a free course, and then you can check out the trial opportunity if you want to learn a little bit more and actually clone all this. I give you guys everything you're pretty much seeing here. I give you guys this so that you can run with this model. Okay. Now let me briefly talk about the pay-per-lead model and why it's powerful. So when you get really good at generating the ads and the leads for the customer, you'll start to know how much those leads cost, and then you can gauge predictably, okay, well, if they're going to pay this much per lead, I can sell them the lead for this amount. And you don't really have to do client work like you do when you're doing a traditional agency, because they're just buying the lead. So you kind of take all the skill that you have and you do it, you kind of use it for your own benefit of generating the lead, but then they just get the lead. You don't have to worry about them seeing all your ads and seeing all the stuff you're trying to do. It's your job to just figure out what's going to work best, which is kind of why I like it, because if you're good at marketing, it's really your job to figure out what works best and then get them the result, not the other way around. Like, see what they want to do, and then you're going back and forth, unless they're actually experienced with that and they know what they're doing, right? So that's my model. Like I said, check the link down below if you want to learn a little bit more. And if you're already on high level, you can actually join directly as well. And that's it. That's what I'm doing. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.